Welcome to 99.5 Love FM.
All right, so thank you very much for your time. It's 28 minutes past 7. On Love in the Morning today, we want to take a trip to the Kejetia market, the newly built Kejetia market. And as we take this trip, we want you to come along with us. Now, you can join us now on Facebook because we're streaming live. It's on LUV 99.5 FM. Join us now on Facebook and see things for yourself. Send us voice notes to 05511119995. Let me take it again and go slow. 05511119995. As a nation, as a people, why do we have a very poor or a very bad maintenance culture? A while ago, you heard me say to Delali Atia, I said that as a country, there are many things that we want in terms of development, things that will help us. Unfortunately, we're not able to get them. And when we are lucky enough to have some even constructed or built, we do not maintain them. We see them go bad gradually. We don't act upon them. We don't try to fix them. We allow them to go very, very bad. They deteriorate to a very large state before we come and look for huge sums of money to try and fix them. Listen, due to the spontaneous development of uncontrolled sprouting of vendors as well as uncontrollable fire outbreaks, government of Ghana set out a well-thought-through redevelopment plan of the entire Kejetia market enclave. Now, the first phase of the redevelopment started in 2015 and was valued at a cost of $259,425,000. Now, the first phase of the project included an ultra-modern market with 8,420 stores, a clinic, a police station, a social and recreational center, an ICT center, a post office, a fire post, banks, and a daycare center. Now, although we spent all this money to put up this beautiful edifice, I'm told that some of the things that we were told would even be in there, like the recreation center, is not there. ICT, not there. Plus many others. Yet, it cost us the same amount. But that's not our focus for this morning. We'll find some time and find out why we spent so much and all the things that we were told, all the things that we promised that would be there, some of them are not there. Again, for your information, it was completed late 2018 and traders moved in somewhere around 2019. Now, 3 to 4 years down the line or after its completion, portions of the market is going bad. It's deteriorating as a result of poor maintenance culture. And that's why we're asking you to send us voice notes to tell us what, in your estimation, it will take for our leaders, for those in authority, to set up and maintain some of these things. Because the situation, if not attended to soon, will mean more deterioration and more money to fix it. So if you join us on Facebook now, you get to see what we have been able to capture. I mean, the market is big, so we cannot be everywhere. But we've been able to capture some on video. We have pictures that we're showing you on Facebook right now as to some of the destruction, the deterioration that is taking place at the Kejetia market. Joining me for this conversation in the studios of Love 99.5 is Nana Akwesi Prempe. He is Federation of Kumasi Traders President, and he joins us in the studios right now. Later, we'll be joined by Mr. Edmond Kofi Dufour Adai. He's manager for the Kejetia market. So, Nana, good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
And how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I am well. I'm happy that the voice is getting better now because when we spoke yesterday, everything was fine. But I called you up this morning at dawn, and your voice is almost gone.
Well, I don't know.
But I'm happy that it's clearing. I'm happy that our water is doing some magic.
It's a miracle water.
Well, I hope so, because if it is, then I'll be selling much more of this miracle water. Maybe Eugene and I's prayers have been answered. But Nana, you on a daily basis take a trip to the Kejetia market because you have that's where your business is, that's where you work from, and so on a daily basis you go there. Now we hear about deterioration of some portions of the market. You go there daily. What have you been able to gather? What have you seen?
Yeah, Dave, good morning. I'm saying this year, this is the first time we are meeting.
Yes.
And it's coincidental, the last day of the first month. So can I say Happy New Year?
Well, I would accept it anyway. So if you say that, I'll say same to you. I mean.
So then, Dave, Happy New Year.
Same to you, my brother.
It's the first time we are meeting. And then good morning to our cherished listeners. Dave, it's quite worrying what we are seeing currently at Kejetia of late. Traders moved into Kejetia full operation in 2020. We went in with joy. We went in with happiness based on the past experience that we had at the old Central Market and then the old Kejetia Lorry Terminal where a few shops were. Looking at the structure or the edifice, we realized that indeed we're going into a new place that was very conducive, where we thought everything was going to be fine. Well, 2 years down the line, we've realized that some parts are deteriorating. At the traders' leadership level, we realized that we have to speak up, because if it so happens that it gets to a stage that the market is to be closed down, even just for a week, for renovation work or rehabilitation works, it is going to affect with the traders. So that has been the reason why we are coming out, calling on management, calling on the board of directors, calling on every stakeholder to share our plight, because even with the traders self, we also have a role to play in maintaining the facility. So Dave, it's quite unfortunate it has started this way, but I think if we all come together to work hand in hand, we can save this edifice, because it is the first of its kind in the country. We know currently they are doing same at Takoradi, but we the traders don't want to reach a stage where they will say, oh, the first one that they did in Kumasi has reached a depressive state that is no good. So we don't want to reach that stage.
All right. So, what kind of deterioration are we talking about, and which parts or areas of the market can this deterioration be seen?
Well, Dave, if you go into the market, you realize that the market is made up of both and nose and that metallic steel poles. So you go around many parts of the market, you realize that the paints that they used are peeling off. I had the opportunity to speak to some workers of the contractor, the contractors of the facility, because they are not managing it. It is
they wanted to. They wanted to manage it. It was not given to them. The Brazilian company wanted to manage it, but it wasn't given to them. You go ahead.
Well, so I've spoken to some of their workers and even some of the maintenance personnel of Kumasi City Market. And when we did some cross-check, there were some parts of the market that at least every 6 months, and some parts every 1 month, there need to be some changes. And even with respect to this painting, there are some parts that they should have done it yearly to preserve the bolts and nuts, because the moment the paint begins to peel off, it will expose the metallic place for rust. So that's why we asked, and I mean, we are not getting any good answer from them.
Okay, but again, for those of you who have joined us on Facebook, and I pray that you do, because it is our money that is used in some of this construction, and so we need to be concerned about what is happening to it. You can also realize that there are some boards that are broken, exposing some of the metals as well. How bad, I don't know whether they can give us by way of percentage, how bad is the situation by way of the boards that have gotten broken?
Well, if I'm giving you a pictorial thing about entering into Kejetia market, currently if you are entering to the market from the Children's Hospital section, that's gate 13, you realize that both sides of the entrance, the boards there, as you can see, are broken. And then within the main launch, you realize that almost part of because there are
almost every part, you mean?
No, almost, yes. There are several parts where you realize that these boards are being broken.
And they're broken, and they're exposing some steel works that have been done there as well.
Yes. So it's a cause of worry. It's a cause of worry.
You have been there, in the market for all these years. In all this while you've been there, have you seen any sort of maintenance work done? I mean, a while ago you were talking about there being plans for some 6 months, some yearly painting, some 6 months work to be done by way of maintenance. Have you seen any work whatsoever being done at the market?
Well, from what we have been seeing from the market, not a major maintenance works, but sometimes, especially with the sewage system, when there is some blockade, we go to the maintenance office and report to them there, and then they will come and work on it. But basically, it is about when there's the pipes are choked. You realize that if they are choked, the water will be spilling out. So we go to the maintenance office, we call out the maintenance person there, and when there are some sewage problems, there and then when we call on them, they come to work on it.
So these boards that are broken that we're seeing on Facebook, do we know how they got broken?
Well, I can say from the Children's Hospital session, it is for management allowing the truck pushers to put their trucks by that section, because with the truck pushers, when they bring their truck, I mean, they don't take care, they don't give a damn whether the truck will hit this basement or not. From the children's hospital station, I can say it's because of the truck pushers who are there. And then from the gate 2 of the Las Palmas entrance to, I can say confidently, it's the truck pushers whom the management have allowed them to stay there. They are causing this havoc. But within the main market inside, I cannot pinpoint the exact cause why those places are being broken.
All right, so tell us about, because I know that when the market was constructed, and if my memory serves me well, there are some plans in terms of maintenance for the structure. And I know that a cumulative amount, that is accrued from the tolls and all that you guys make from the market. Some 17% of that amount is supposed to be put aside for maintenance work. Am I right?
Yeah, in earlier days when we were engaging authorities and they were telling us the distribution of the revenue generated from the market, they were made us to believe that 60% was going for the repayment of the loan, 17% for purposely maintenance of the facility.
17%?
Yes.
For maintenance of the facility.
We were told 6% was going to the traditional authorities, and then the extra 17% for the assembly to do other developmental projects within the city. That was what we were made to believe. Yeah.
So my next question, therefore, would be this. Work is going on at the Kejetia market. Revenue is being generated. Do you have an idea as to how much has been accrued so far? For
that one, we are not privileged to the figures that currently the management are generating. But our worry is by having interactions between the management and the contractors of the facility, we've realized that there's a break of link between the current management and then the contractors of the facility, because we were made to believe, and I quite remember the community liaison officer for contractor, Mr. Emmanuel Danso, some time ago told us that after the construction of the facility, they will manage it, train people to take over when they are no more. But we've gone further to ask the maintenance manual that they received from contractor to manage. I don't think the current management have the maintenance manual from the contractors of the facility. So that's why I said we have realized that there's a break of link between the contractors of the facility and the managers of the facility, because some of the materials that they used in constructing this facility was customized one purposely for contractors, which you might not even get on the open market. So if there's that break of link between the two and something gets spoiled, I think it will be a problem. But these contractors, fortunately for us, are still working in town. So if there's that collaboration between the two, I don't think we have reached where we are now.
I'm wondering why, when we decided to put up this beautiful edifice, we would use some customized materials, so that going forward, if we need replacement for them, it will become a challenge. I'm wondering why we would do that. But again, you've talked about the outer parts of the market where we've seen these boards that have been broken, and we've seen the paint peeling off from these metallic structures that are holding some of the structure. What about the shop itself, the individual shops itself? I mean, what's the situation like there?
Oh, the individual shops that we are currently running. Now, the only challenge that some of our members have had is about the locks. That's why I said they use some of the material are customized materials that are not in the open market, especially when it comes to the locks to the shops. The keys get easily broken, but if you go to the maintenance office, they said, "Oh, this type of keys we can't get it here." But basically, it's about the shutter roller gates too are also a problem to majority of the traders and the locks. But inside the individual shops, I don't think there's much complaint from our members.
I know that there was some flooding situation last year when the rains came down, and people have wondered why it is so. You tell me, have you raised these concerns? And I know you touched on it briefly earlier, but have you raised concerns with managers of the facility? Have you told them your biggest fear? Because like you were saying, if there should be the need if we allow this unattended to, and there should be the need to close down the market for even a few days or for a week, it will be a problem for you. Have you engaged with, leadership of the market, the managers of the market? What have you been told about fixing this problem?
Well, we frequently engage management, and even if you come to the traders level, we've set up committee. If you come to we have security and environmental committee. They work in collaboration with the management with respect to how to put the environmental, untidy environmental things within the market. So we collaborate with the management, we work with the management, but we foresee that some of the problems are above the management.
How so? What do you mean?
How so? Because that's why I said there is a break of link between the contractors and the management, the maintenance manual that maybe they were supposed to do. Which part of the market needs to be worked on, let's say 6 months, which parts of the market needs to be worked on.
But I'm sure it will be specified in the plan. So hold on for a minute now, Prempe. Joining us on the phone lines now is Mr. Edmond Kofi Dufour-Adey, and he's manager for the Kejetia market. Mr. Adey, good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm good. And good morning to our cherished listeners.
Good to have you.
Greater city of Kumasi.
So, Mr. Adey, tell us this. I mean, has it come to your attention? Are you aware that some portions of the Kejetia market is getting destroyed, getting damaged, deteriorating?
Indeed, yes. We are aware as a management. We are on top of that issue. We have a maintenance manual, which we receive from contractor, and it's with the maintenance manager and his team. We have been engaging contractor for some time now, because some of the products that they use, we need to speak to them for them to release them for us. And we also, beyond that, we need funds to do some of these things. And I'll come to that as we engage.
All right. Now, so for how long has this come to your attention, the fact that some portions are, deteriorating?
And let me speak about two major issues. The boards that were used to fix some of the aspects of the market, and then the painting of the peelers. Some of the maintenance issues need to be done once in a year. And then some of them, you need to be daily, weekly, as and when they fall in. So talking about the boards, we realized, yes, there were issues with some of the boards, but they became very intensive last month during the Christmas festivities. The Gate 13 area, that is when you look at from the Children's Hospital entry. In November, we didn't have any challenges there. But in December, just after Christmas, these issues came up, in addition to others that have been there for a while. And we've been trying to get the right product to fix it whilst we engage contractor. Thankfully, the board met 2 weeks ago because we went there to seek permission to be able to take funds to do some of these things. And the board granted that permission that we should go ahead and do some of these maintenance things. And beyond that, we've met contractor as well. We've engaged contractor, and contractor has also come on board. They are looking at some of these issues that we are talking about, and they are going to help us to be able to fix some of these, get the right products. Because we were looking at marrying what they've done, the original product there, with local ones, and they were not meeting the standard that is required in order not to deform and deface what the market presently looks like. Yes, so they've come along with that. And in this month of February, we're going to have a full maintenance of these things, the painting, the changing of the boards, and then put in place also, especially with the boards, a preventive mechanism. That's what I'll say.
When it's a preventive mechanism, explain further. What mechanism can you put in place that will prevent it from being, broken going forward?
Okay, so the truck pushers who operate within the Kejetia environment, most of the boards breaking are attributed to their activity. So last year, we tried to manage them. That is, register them, bring them on board, license them, give them tax, brand their trucks so that we don't have any truck coming from outside entry, assuming we are going to allow them to operate. And then ensure that if within the cost of their work, they damage any of these boards, again, they'll be surcharged. Because if we take them out as well, the very traders complaining now will come back to us to say, we need them to be bringing our goods to us. We can't carry the goods, and the spaces were created so that they can move in freely. So it's about managing their movement within the market and then ensuring that they take responsibility for what they will do wrong. And once they take responsibility to pay up for what they will do wrong, because whichever shop will engage a truck pusher to bring goods should be ready to be held responsible for what the truck pusher is bringing.
How would you be able to identify this truck pusher broke this board? And looking at the cost, do you think they have what it takes to be able to pay?
Yes. So if first let me say, talk about how you identify them. Like I say, we're going to register them and then license them, brand them, and give them each truck pusher a tag, bring them under leadership. Then the security people, the security company, will be assigned that role. So because they enter from a particular point. So if a truck is entering from a particular point, and then within some time you realize that a board or something is broken, the security person that allowed the truck to go beyond that point to be held responsible.
I see. And do you think that they have what it takes to pay if they should damage anything there?
So then I moved on to say earlier that wherever they are delivering the goods to, whoever has engaged them, you take up the responsibility, assuming they are unable to meet that cost.
I see. But your CCTV cameras there, do they really work?
Recently, we've had a challenge with the CCTV cameras. Otherwise, they were working. The NVR got spot, so we've engaged the provider to give us a replacement.
And how soon will this be done?
We're expecting that before the end of this month, we'll have it fully functional. They've come around, they've looked at it, and they're picking it from the manufacturer. So it will be fully operational before the end of February.
Mr. Dufo, would you say that it's prudent to have used customized materials or products in the construction of this market, knowing very well that if, for example, something gets damaged and you want to replace it, then you have to fall on the contractor or the company that, fixed it?
So what we're doing now is to move away from there. We are trying to get local products that will fit into it. So we are engaging some artisans, and we are engaging the engineers and contractors and with our team to collaborate so that we can get into the market and get into similar products that will be able to satisfy need going into the future.
I would have been glad if we have looked, locally, inwardly, and to have used more of local materials. That would also engage more people and get them jobs. But you raised concerns about funding. What is the issue with funding to help with the maintenance works?
Yeah, so I heard my Nana Pepper speak about a 17% component of it that should have been used to do the maintenance. That's right. But that 17% of the company's component of the 17% has been exhausted because the premium that we're supposed to have received, which he spoke about premium, we should have received the premium by now, the totality of the premium. We have less than half of the premium. And during the initial stages of the company had to bear some costs. Rental shops were given to the traders to relocate them. The issue of service charges, among others. In fact, as of last year, May, everything in Kejetia was being run from the escrow account. That is a percentage of it thereof. It is after May that we started taking money seriously.
But Mr. Dufo, the plan, if I may come in, Mr. Dufo, the plan is put this money aside for maintenance works. Why would we put the money aside for maintenance, not use it for maintenance, but use it for something else?
So it didn't say just maintenance work. It included operations of the market. It didn't say just maintenance. It included operations of the market. And wherein that the traders are not paying the premium. Because if we had received the totality of the premium by now, as I speak, almost 4 years into the agreement, where they were supposed to pay 20%, and then the 80% within that same year of 2019. And we are in 2022, and we've taken less than 50% of the premium. As if we even have 80-90% of the premium, I can tell you we would have had more than enough to adequately handle any maintenance challenge that is within Kejetia without falling on anybody or going to anybody. And the worst of it is, within the last 9 months, my colleague traders and friends have not paid anything because they've tied the paying of the premium, every other thing, to a particular issue. And it's becoming worrying. So it is not just about management not being proactive, management not being there to ensure that what needs to be done. We have a maintenance plan and a maintenance program. You need the funding to be able to do it. So as to being efficient and effective in doing what we need to do, we are aware of it. We've drawn the plan and the programs towards it. But we need the funding from them. They should finish paying the premium. Above any other thing, the premium needs to be cleared. We cannot go beyond the first quarter of this year with over 65 to 60% of the premium still being held by the traders. They were supposed to have finished paying again, for emphasis, in 2019. 2020 passed, 2021 has passed, we are in 2022.
So, Mr. Dufo, if they're refusing to pay, what is your office doing? You are the management of the facility. You are managing the facility. What's your plan to make them pay? Because we need to ensure that maintenance works are done to ensure that this facility will last us for a very, very, very long time. So what do you intend to do?
Yes. So what we did was we've engaged their leadership. We've engaged the market, and we've sought the permission of the board in order to be able to put in some very hard measures that will bring us the fund.
What are the hard measures? When you say hard measures, explain further.
Indeed, we after the end of March, because last year we engaged them and we explained to them that by the end of the year everybody should have paid up. They came to plead that we should let the Christmas pass so that they can make some sales and pay up. So we're talking to, from the board level, we've been given the mandate now to go ahead and engage them. By the end of March, whoever doesn't pay will have the shop locked. And then after that, if after a month of not paying again after having a shop locked, the company will take the necessary steps to repossess those shops involved.
So, Mr. Dufo, we know that you have a maintenance plan or schedule, like you said yourself. Unfortunately, you're having a few hiccups that is preventing you from rolling out the plan as has been enshrined in your document. This is also creating deterioration at the market. Going forward, because we have done 4 years already, no serious maintenance work has been done, although you've given us assurances that work will be done. Going forward, how can you assure us, the taxpayers, the citizenry, that plans will be put in place such that we would have flawless rollout of maintenance plan?
Going forward, like I said, in this coming, today is 31st January.
Yeah.
So going into the month of February, we're going to start serious, the plan is already, we're going to start serious maintenance of this thing, bring these things on board, clear them, and ensure we restore the structure to its initial outlook. And then the program of the 6 months, 1 year, those things that need to be done will also be continually done. But again, we will need money to do it. I will not sit here and speak to the nation, the taxpayer, and tell the taxpayer what is happening at Kejetia is right. But also, there is a responsibility on the traders. Because when they were given the facility, they said, we're going to pay. Government granted them a bit of a leeway, then pay 20% instead of the 100% that they go. I know 2-4 made some interventions among others, and it helped traders. But now our traders have fallen back on the agreement that they made with the company. And we're going to come very hard to receive the funds so that we can do what we need to do.
And that's why you're manager.
Yes, because currently we have got some expenditures for the traders, over 3 to 4 million. Again, that has nothing even to do with the maintenance, with the premium. It has to do with their service charges, among others. And we need to come in and collect the money and use this money to do this way. Yes.
All right, Mr. Dufo, 2 quick issues and then we'll let you go. First of all, you know that last year there was some flat situation in the market.
Yeah.
Has any work been done on it such that this year we will not see any more of such flats when the rains come down?
The major flood situation that happened wasn't because of any structural defects thereof. No. I thought, no, let me say this. Some locks got locked up within the drainage system, and they were coming from the zoo area. We've been there. We've tried to speak to the management of the zoo. If there are those locks still lying around, they should move them away. Yes. Otherwise, the drains have been cleaned. Contractors have joined us, and we are cleaning.
Is that to suggest that
some of them have been expanded?
Is that to
some
suggest
of the drains? Yes, sir. Hello.
Is that to suggest that currently you don't even know whether the locks are still there or not from the zoo area?
No, because the zoo area runs deep in there. The management of the zoo have not given us the feedback yet, but we'll get it. We're in the dry season. Before we get into the month of the rain, we will ensure that working with them, no log will be within the catchment area of the drains that starts from their end, so that nothing gets choked within the line. But otherwise, some of the drains within the Kejetia area have been expanded by contractor, among others. And then there's a program, we engaged contractor last week, and again, they will help with cleaning the drains. But then the activities of traders around the Kejetia market, it's also another thing that I know the mayor is working towards it anyway, because they also contribute in making sure that getting the drains choked. Yeah, so I know he's going to engage. He has a program to engage so that within the business area of Kejetia, we can have a free operational to allow the drains to rain.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on that bit and to ensure that the activities of these traders doesn't create problems for us. But one final thing, I had a conversation with some of the traders last year. It had to do with concern they had about meters.
Yeah.
Has it been resolved?
It's almost done.
When is it almost done?
Last 2 weeks or not. You know, I keep on repeating it. It's a process we've been going through. There were 1 or 2 challenges, and the board met last 2 weeks, and the board has rolled out a plan to get it resolved so that they can have their meters, and then the market to have its full piece to have full operation. Yes.
And when will this be done?
By holding back.
When will this be done?
This very week, some issues that were brought up will be dealt with, and then the world will get to hear. We have nothing to lose. We have everything to gain by they having their meters. Yes, so that we'll be able to operate very well with them. You bear your own cost. And the company, in a situation where we have to manage this cost for them, it's difficult. There's an outstanding bill of 3.4 million Ghana cedis for ECG. If ECG should walk in today, we are in serious trouble. Where ECG goes off for a minute, we need to go and buy fossil fuel, and it is serious.
How do you intend to pay that debt?
We have met the leadership of the market and working together with them. We're going to roll out the service charge in the coming weeks, next week. And we'll start collecting the money. When we collect the money, we'll pay.
How sure are you that you're going to be able to collect this money?
I can assure you that when it comes to taking the money, I'll take the money. And we would collect the money. The market knows that we will collect the money. We have done it before. We went to them. We give you your bill. We give you a timeline to pay up. If you don't pay up, we lock your shop. We collect our money. Because others may have paid up. And it wouldn't be fair that others pay up for you to enjoy when we are all there to do business. So it's not about management, but it's being fair to the other trader who is by you. Because if the other trader by you has paid his or a full electric bill for the year, and that is what the company is buying power for you to enjoy, then you also need to own up to your responsibility.
So maybe a strategy could be that for those who have paid already, then you give them their meters. Those who have not paid, they are disconnected until they pay. They will not be given meters, so they cannot operate fully.
All these are on board.
I hear you.
All these are on board.
I hear you.
We'll take everything on board to ensure we get the market operating as it was envisaged to do. We will do.
Mr. Dufo, the maintenance culture of Ghana, we all know, is not the very best. But as manager of the Kejetia market, we are looking up to you and counting on you that once you have a plan, 6 months, yearly and all that, let's find ways and means of sticking to this plan so that this edifice will last us a very long time. Thank you very much for your time. His name is Mr. Edmund Kofi Dufo Ade.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And he's a manager for the Kejetia market. Unfortunately, we haven't seen much in terms of maintenance works. He attributes it to funding challenges and the fact that traders there are refusing to pay their premiums. Now, I can see the smile on your face. What do you want to say?
Well, in terms of the funding, with regards to the premium, you see, with the premium, as I speak to you right now, I might not know the number of people who have not even made any commitment in terms of paying the premium. I know some have made some payment, some have made full payment. Others also have some issues with the owner of the facility, that is the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, with regards to the reason why they are not paying up their premium. So with that one, I think when we get to the bridge, we will know how to cross it. He was talking about service charges and then electricity bills and the likes, and then the meter. Dave, fortunately or unfortunately, he said we also have a role to play with respect to paying for the meters. Let me state it here. And that is the position of the traders union. Last year, last 2 years, and the latter part of last year, the position of the traders union, for that matter, the traders, were that we were to prepare to pay for the cost of the meters. Now, 1.5 years down the line, just last week when they went for the board meeting, the board told us, our members from the board have come to tell us that the board have taken the decision. They are now open tender for interested companies to come and bid for. Whilst last year, the traders had opted for a company, a supplier company whom ECG had introduced to us. ECG had then introduced 3 companies. We negotiated with those companies. We settled on one company. We agreed on figures. Now, every document pertaining to that negotiation that we had with that supplier company, certification from ECG, it is in the possession of the traders. Now, the board and management say they don't want to work with that company whom the traders had agreed in figures with. Now, they've opened tender, meaning the board and the management who are owners of the facility, we are like the traders, we can say we are happy that now they are going to take up that cost because they are opening up a tender to look for a company to bring the meters. For respect to the payment of the meters there, I'm saying it here, we aren't going to pay because, Dave, at the time that we negotiated for those meters, the CD to dollar rate was then 54 point something. Now, dollar is about 600.
What about the electricity you've consumed already?
For the electricity that we've consumed, every trader within the market knows that we owe.
And you're prepared to pay?
And we have made plans to pay.
Okay.
But we're only using, not paying those bills as a conduit to force the board and management to get our meters. And even with respect to the service charges, there are several components of the service charges that we have issues with. So, Dave, you tell us that every month.
In the same regard as you're talking about the fact that when you negotiated for the meters, the dollar is now higher than at the time. And that's in regard, even if you pay your monies now to ECG, they would also tell you that in terms of the dollar, that money has reduced in its...
No, already, we know the cost of the bills.
No, but if they had the money earlier and they wanted to buy some stuff with it in dollar terms, since I'm going to say ECG there, 0322083596 0322083596. Our conversation this morning has to do with the state of the Kejetia market. Some portions are deteriorating, and it has to do with the fact that, well, maintenance is not being done. And you heard the manager for the Kejetia market, Mr. Edmond Kofi Dufo, are there, who says funding is a challenge and that going forward they're going to find means of getting the money and they will fix it. He says again that going forward they're going to ensure that those who destroy them, like the truck pushers, will be held accountable. And if they cannot pay, then traders who engage the service of these truck pushers will be held accountable. Give us a call on 03220-83596. 03220-83596. Talk about the Kejetia market. The fact that some portions are deteriorating. And also, what do you think, in your estimation, what do you think we can do as a people to ensure that people in authority, people in leadership positions will take maintenance level as something that is key to ensure that projects that we put up last forever or for a very long time? Christoph, good morning.
Good morning, David Akuetteh. How are you, sir?
Chris, I am well.
David, I want to commend ECG. I think recently, my area, the light has been very consistent doing well. And so we pray that it will go like that. Yeah. David, see, the man we just talked to on the phone, he spoke very well. Nice one. Good campaigning. But they're taking the initiation. See, taking the bull by the horn. Where's that cheap? This market here is one of the best in Africa. And the money that went into it, David, you know it. It's serious. It's a Brazilian loan that we got it. And money allocated for the maintenance of this building is sitting down. Once this project is deteriorating, what kind of country are we living in? Because when it deteriorates more, somebody is going to profit heavily from the mess. And so we are telling them that, look, boss, we want you to put the place in shape. After even when it rains, you see flood all over. They should look at all these things and put the place in order so that the money we use for this, we can get its value for it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you also for joining us. 03220 83596. That's the number you can reach us on. Let's talk about the Kejetia market. Let's talk about the project because some portions are deteriorating. What do you also have to share with us? Erasmus, good morning.
Good morning, David.
And good to have seen you on Saturday during the walk. Good to have seen you.
David, I always ask one question. When we are constructing a project, what standards do we put in place? And the second question is, the contractor or whoever that probably constructed the Kejetia project, what was the duration given to him? Because when you travel outside, when contractors are giving work, David, they are giving some standards to follow. They tell them the project that you are doing should last for this number of years. I don't think this project has been there for more than 6 years. No. So it's so surprising we have the project just some few years back going down the drain. Who is responsible for all these things? And sometimes, David, when you walk through there, you have the test choke. Look at such a project. We go for a loan to construct a project of this nature. And we allow people to throw in garbage and we get the thing destroyed. Then we get up and we pray to God. No. I think we need to stop this and allow God to at least have a little bit of rest. We need to change our attitude. We need a serious attitudinal change right from top to the very last person who is born today. And I think Ghana will move on, David.
Thank you, Erasmus there. You can also join us on 03220 83596. And we're talking about the Kejetia market. Some portions are, going bad. And yet, unfortunately, although there's a maintenance schedule or a maintenance plan, no maintenance work is being done. And we've been told because of what? Funding. What, Nana Kweku, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Grace has found me.
Okay. I've listed about 3 points, and I'm going to enumerate them. One, the Kejetia is deteriorating because of one thing. I've always been saying this, and people don't seem to agree with me. It's just because of the politics that we go through, the NDC MPP attitude that we channel everything into politics. Let a KMA leader, Sampine, I'm so much disappointed in him. Let him go there and decide that he's going to, hold everyone accountable. That is going to be NDC MPP instead of all of us addressing the issue. Now, 1 week we will let you do this. So no one has that particular fortitude to go and do the right thing there. And then two, our own maintenance culture, our own people. Look, if you see that something is bad, you need to speak about it. If you're dropping garbage or rubbish at some place that is not supposed to be done there, you need not do it. But yet, again, you go ahead and then drop somewhere, and then I expect that, Zoom Lion should come and clean up. And then I'm talking about the Kejetia. You see, we want everything free. The government should have said, look, I've put up my project. This is my rules and my conditions. I have my own meter. I'm sounding the word of caution. Should they allow the individuals to have their own meter? Let's expect fire in Kejetia about 5 years' time. Because there's going to be illegal connections. Those illegal connections, that is the reason why we have Kejetia fire, Kejetia fire. If they allow them to have their own meters, that is then they will decide to go and do bypassing illegal connection and everything so that the reading will come down and then they will be paying more. But if the government has said, this is my condition, if you want to be a Kejetia, we have a single meter, we are monitoring it. This is the price each and everyone is going to pay every month. If you can't, you go in for it. You sign a contract. But if they allow them to have their own meter, let's watch it. 5 years' time, you see that because I know what goes on in Kejetia. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much as well. And that's why we have a management team managing the facility. And unlike previous, markets, the main old Kejetia market where it was difficult for people to walk through and identify where the illegal meters or illegal connections are or where at the time, this is quite different. But again, point well noted. 03220 83596. We're talking about maintenance culture that is so poor, that's so bad here in Ghana. 03220-83596. And again, send us your voice notes. We're talking about maintenance culture. What would it take for people to sit up and do the right things? So send us your voice notes to 05511119995. Michael joins us on the lines now. Good morning.
David Akuetteh, good morning.
Michael S. Mills, how are you doing?
I'm great, and yourself?
I am well as well. Let's hear you.
Yeah, David. In the first place, I've never been enthused about this whole Kejetia project, honestly, as an individual. Kejetia, as we're talking now, David, we have about 8,000 shops, right?
1,200.
If every shop is having one attendant, at a go, we have 16,000 people. And if 10 people or 5 people are supposed to visit a shop per day, we have 7 people per shop times 8,000 a day. I tell you, no matter what we do, this Kejetia will become an ugly hills for the management and the people that live at Kejetia. And again, looking at our own attitude and the way we see things, and we expect somebody to be held responsible of our own actions and inactions. Somebody touched on that contractor's responsibility as far as that facility is concerned. No insurance company, no underwriter will take such a responsibility because of our own attitude and the way we don't even care about our own infrastructure. So the point is that it has become something that is hanging on our neck. And Kejetia's project, when you have about 120,000 people moving to a facility on a single day, David, the responsibility will be huge. It was a non-starter, I tell you.
Whether a non-starter or not, Michael, thanks for the call, sir. We've invested so much in it. We have, some 7,200 lockable shops. We have some 8,420. 1,420. I'm putting it together. I'm talking about, tabletops, lockable shops put together. Some 8,000 and over shops. Yes. That's what I'm talking about for traders. And so if we've invested so much into this, we should be able to maintain it. We've already invested the money into it. 03220-83596. Do we have Anthony on the line? Anthony, good morning. Hello, Anthony.
So, Rahman.
Okay, so we lost Anthony on the line. Sorry about that, Anthony. Abdul Rahman, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
And welcome.
My little contribution is about the attitude. The very institution that the state must hunger for it to, educate us or enlighten us about our way of life, or let me say, to keep things in order, the civic education. But intentionally, leaders make sure that particular institution doesn't function, so that they have the opportunity to do whatever they want to do. So if you want to fix things, let's all, make sure the right thing is done. If you say people should go out and tell, don't throw this, no, it must start in the classrooms. All this radio business, what you are doing this morning, is fine. But our mothers and some of our families who have no this little education to understand the English language, they have nothing, a little contribution they are doing this morning. So let's face the fact. Intentionally, the leaders, the very machine that's supposed to check things, to put things in order, doesn't work. Thank you.
I hear you, Abdul Rahman. Thank you very much. And we don't have much time, but what we can do is ask you. Somebody was asking a question about insurance. Do you guys pay insurance?
Yes.
You pay?
We
Okay.
pay insurance.
Okay.
51,573.57 cedis a year.
For the whole traders there.
Yes.
So individually,
for the facility.
For the facility. So individually, how much you pay?
We've broken it down. We pay it monthly. It is part of the service charges that we pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a listen to a voice note that somebody has also sent in. Take a listen.
Good morning, Dave. Please, I'm Emmanuel. When the manager of the Kejetia market was speaking, I was weeping. If you have such a big edifice like the Kejetia market, with this huge number of traders, and you tell me you don't have funds to renovate the place, oh, so sad. I'm weeping for this country. What is he doing there as a manager? What are they doing with the daily contributions they take from the traders? What is going on in this country? I think what the man should resign. If you cannot do his job at the place, he should resign. What is going on in this country?
I hear you. Thanks for sending in your voice note. And I'm told that we need to pick just one more call because the person has been on for a while. Do we have Pearl on the line? So, Pearl, we lost Pearl too on the line. Apologies to you, Pearl. All right, so thanks very much, Nana Kwesi Prempeh, for your time with us this morning here in the studios of Love 99.5. Coming up later on the Super Morning Show, somewhere around 8:30, will be a conversation. In fact, it's a documentary that has been put together